Hello, today's objective again is 3.10a. We will analyze a biographical text by explaining the author's purpose and message within the text. Again, we're talking about biographies and how the author's purpose of writing a biography is to give information about the events of a person's life. As it says here, tells the events of a person's life, and usually in time order, meaning they start from their childhood and then end up when they were adults. I'm not going to go over that in class. I'll go over the answers from the last parts of, or the video I did on Monday. Tuesday it was. So I'll start off here. It says, luck was with Milton. His caramel candies made with fresh milk were a great success. An Englishman who was so impressed with the candies, he ordered a huge supply to be shipped to England. Milton knew the milk would keep his candy fresh even after weeks on an ocean liner. Before he knew it, Milton had more business than he could handle. He borrowed money from the Lancaster National Bank to buy more candy-making equipment. Milton had no trouble paying back the loan. And here it says, use context clues in order to tell what the word impressed means as it is used in paragraph 14. Business kept booming. Everyone seemed to be eating the caramels Milton was making in his Lancaster Caramel Company. There were so many to choose from: McGinty's, Jim Cracks, and roly-polies for the children, Lotuses, Paradox, and coconut ices for adults, Melbas, Empires, and icelets for people who like their candies made with skimmed milk instead of smooth, rich cream. And all the different shapes and flavors were invented by Milton Hershey himself. Using just one sentence, tell what paragraph 16 is mostly about. In other words, you're given a summary of just paragraph 16. Soon Milton had to expand. He built factories in other Pennsylvania cities. He started a branch in New York City and another in Chicago. He shipped his caramels all over the country, and soon all over the world. People everywhere, Japan, China, Australia, and Europe, loved Milton's caramels. The Lancaster Caramel Company made Milton Hershey a rich man. But it wasn't caramels that made him famous. In 1893, Milton had an idea that would make Hershey a household name around the world. Use context clues in order to explain the meaning of the word branch as it is used in paragraph 17. I want to make chocolate. It all started when Milton visited the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. Milton was fascinated by an expedition of chocolate-making equipment from Germany. He studied the machinery for hours. Then he made up his mind. He would buy the equipment, ship it to Lancaster, and start making chocolate himself. Making chocolate was harder than it looked. Milton and his candy makers tried one recipe after another until they found just the right taste they wanted. Eventually, Milton's factory was making 114 different kinds of fancy chocolates. Then, in 1900, Milton Hershey made a big decision. He didn't want to run both a caramel factory and a chocolate factory. From then on, he would only make chocolates. Explain why Milton Hershey decided that he wanted to make chocolate. And it has something to do with the boxed information here as well. I want to go over cause and effect because the next few questions are related to a cause and effect structure in the text. Remember, the cause is the reason for something happening, and the effect is what happens. Like in the cause would be rain, the effect is flowers. That's why we have lots of flowers in the spring, because we have lots of rain in April. On August 10, 1900, Milton Hershey sold the Lancaster Caramel Company for $1 million. He immediately began plans to build a huge new chocolate factory. This factory would be located out in the farmland near Milton's birthplace in Derry, Pennsylvania. Building a factory in the middle of the cornfields made sense to Milton Hershey. There was plenty of land to build on, there was plenty of fresh water, and there were plenty of cows to provide good, fresh milk for making delicious chocolates. Why did Milton Hershey sell his caramel company? Why did Hershey decide to build his chocolate company in the middle of cornfields? Not everyone agreed with Milton. His wife, Kitty, told him he ought to have his head examined. Everyone knew that factories belonged in cities. Besides, she would ask, where would the factory workers live? In a barn? But Milton Hershey had thought of that too. He promptly began to build a town for his workers. There would be comfortable houses with gardens. There would also be schools, churches, and stores. There would be a post office and a trolley car for transportation. It would be a wonderful town, and it would eventually be named Hershey, Pennsylvania. There's a picture of his wife, Kitty. Explain why Hershey's wife, Kitty, did not agree with him building a chocolate factory in the country. Here the author includes information about trolley cars. Trolley cars or streetcars are a sort of passenger train that roll along rails in city streets. The cars are run by overhead power lines. It all happened just the way Milton Hershey said it would. The Hershey Chocolate Company was soon bigger than anyone could have imagined. And Hershey, Pennsylvania, grew into a thriving town with two main streets named Chocolate and Cocoa Avenues. Explain why the author includes the information about trolley cars on page 312. And yes, this is page 312. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in class.